For those of you guys that don't know, Wintertodt has actually been updated recently, and I'm going to go ahead and create a quick guide on everything that you need to know about Wintertodt as a new player or as a returning player. Now, this video is going to be a little bit lengthy, so quick guide is questionable, but I do want to make sure I cover everything in the video, so because of that, there will be timestamps in the description below so that you're able to hop around to different spots in the video depending on what you are looking for. First things first, the requirements. You need to have 50 fire making, and if you want to get Herblore XP, you also need to have completed Druidic Ritual. And if you want to get construction XP, you also need to have a player-owned house. So keep that in mind when you're doing this early on in an account, if that is something you want to do. But the cool thing about the update is you no longer just have to spam it at 10 HP. It's kind of nice. As far as the XP rates go, at level 50 fire making, you can expect 161,000 XP, and that scales all the way up to 320,000 fire making XP an hour at 99. You can also expect to get around 10,000 woodcutting XP per hour at level 50 and 21,000 XP an hour at level 99. Now, the thing about Wintertodt is you can either fletch, not fletch. You can also hop worlds and get a bunch of fire making XP. There's also another table that we have here that shows the experience if you're fletching. For your fire making XP, you can see that it goes down to 135,000 at level 50 and 270,000 at level 99 for fire making. And for wood cutting, it goes down to 5,000 XP an hour at level 50. At level 99, it goes down to 11,000 XP an hour. But you do get some fletching experience where at level 50, you can get 11,000 fletching XP, and at level 99, you can get 21,000 fletching XP. I do want to call out that you don't need to be level 50 woodcutting in order to do Wintertodt, and you don't need to be level 50 fletching in order to do Wintertodt. That's just kind of where they're at, because if you're on an Ironman, especially, or a main account, and you're not buying logs for fire making, you're going to get basically be at 50 fire making and 50 woodcutting around the same time. So that's kind of why it's like that. Now, the last thing I do want to say is there is actually a strategy in order to get the most fire making XP that you can possibly get, and that is hopping worlds. Now, it's kind of hard to pull off, and it's not 100% reliable, but there is a way for you to do it, and you can get upwards of 475,000 XP at level 99 and 225,000 fire making XP at level 50. Again, we'll cover that briefly, but it's kind of annoying, and it really just depends on how you want to train it. This boss is kind of crazy in the fact that you can do so many different things with it. So there's a lot of different ways to get to Wintertodt. Wintertodt is right here on Zaya at the very north side of Zaya in the northern tundra. The first way and most convenient way to get here is the games necklace. However, you don't unlock that unless you talk to Veos and take the ship to Korend at least once. So keep that in mind. You need to go to Port Sarum first, take the boat over, and then that will unlock this teleport for you. The other option is to use the Lovaking mining network, and that will bring you right here and take that to the northern tundras. And again, that'll bring you right here, which is super nice, but those are kind of scattered throughout Gielinor in general. Like there is one right here, for example, and that ship I was talking about will take you right here. So that's one. I believe there's also one down here. Yep, there's one right here as well. And this takes you to the other place where you might get off the ship at. So there's another thing that you can do. You can also use Fairy Ring CIS. So you got that going for you. You can also use your Xeric's Talisman, take it to the heart and run straight north. You can also use the Lovaking one and run to the northeast. There's a lot of different ways to get here, but I highly recommend just using the games necklace because it's super easy to do. So the other thing I want to talk about is, again, there are official worlds. As you can see here at the bottom right of my screen, there's a few official worlds, and there's always Wintertodt games going on. What I do personally when I'm doing a mass run is I just start hopping through those worlds, and when we get into Wintertodt, you'll see that there's a percentage, and I just wait for one that's at a lower percentage or a game that literally just started so that I can get the maximum amount of points as possible. As far as the equipment goes, a bronze axe or the best axe is recommended that you have available to you. There are axes and things actually in Wintertodt as well if you do forget. A hit point cape if you have one, or regen bracelets if you have access to them is also recommended if that's something that you want to do to save you from banking a lot. But honestly, with the new way of the rejuve potions, you really don't need to bring those items unless you have them. Like, for example, I'm wearing the hit point cape because why not? I'm not wearing anything in the cape slot. The other thing you need to do is wear at least 4 pieces of warm clothing. Now, on the wiki, if you just Google warm clothing for old school RuneScape, you will come up here and see this giant list, but there's a lot of different things. I recommend the Clue Hunter outfit. If you are new to RuneScape, you don't need really any requirements. You just run around digging a few locations. I'll have a guide up on that at some point since I'm finally doing these videos. You can also have your hunter gear, bomber gear, pyromancer outfit, chicken outfit, evil chicken outfit, and it goes through literally basically everything that you can. I'm not going to keep this list up here because it would take forever for me to go through every single item, but just know you need at least 4 pieces of warm clothing in order to make the damage of Wintertodt be basically non-existent. Now, as far as the things for your inventory, you do need a knife if you're gonna fletch. If you're not gonna fletch, don't worry about bringing it. A hammer if you plan to get some construction XP. A tinderbox or a Runelite. Now, Runelite is what I'm wearing right here in my offhand. It does act as a tinderbox, and some rejuve potions if that's something that you want. As far as starting Wintertodt, I believe you can just run north and open these doors, I believe, but you may have to talk to somebody in the camp here. But again, just run to the doors. It'll tell you who to talk to if you need to talk to somebody. Now, you can see my screen just went reddish pink. Now, that happened because there's actually a plugin that I do recommend you having, especially if you're trying to like do something else. Wintertott's not really that engaging unless you're doing it solo. So if you're just doing mass worlds, I do recommend that you have the Wintertodt notifications plugin on, and anytime you stop doing an action, your screen will turn red or whatever color you want it to. So for example, if you notice I move, it's not red anymore. If I stop, it turns red. Now, again, that's very helpful because Wintertodt will randomly hit you, and it's kind of hard to tell if you've been hit or not, especially with all these other players. Now, that said, I am going to turn that off real quick, but as you can see, there's these different crates around here. One has a hammer, one has the concoction potions, one has an axe, and then there's tinderboxes and knives. So again, if you forgot something or you don't have those things, you can get them at Wintertodt. Before the round starts, I'm going to go ahead and do this just because I want to talk about this before we go into things. I did say that you should have some rejuve potions. I would only take 1 or 2 to start because you can always come back here and get them. But at the beginning before the game, go ahead and take your concoction potions and then run over here and pick these sprouting roots. And then once you pick your sprouting roots, which it is super delayed, there we go, you can go ahead and use them on the potions, and then you have your rejuve potions. So kind of how the minigame works is that you see here at the top left, there's these 4 little sections here with fire and now another fire, and basically those are these braziers. Now, the braziers are lit, will do damage to Wintertodt. When they go down, then you're gonna have to go ahead and light the fire again or fix the fire because sometimes it breaks. Your health bar, your HP here actually doesn't really matter anymore. The only thing that matters is this warmth. And again, this is where your warm clothing comes into handy, because if you have warm clothing, Wintertodt will hit you less and do less damage. Make sure that you have your warm clothing, and if this gets to 0, you will die, so you do not want this to hit 0. However, these rejuve potions do heal your warmth, so that is why you want those. If you have your regen bracelets or you have your hit point cape, I normally don't use them at all, but they're also a way to heal the pyromancers over here, which sometimes they fall down. As you can see, when Wintertodt gets to 0% energy up here, you win, the boss is over, and you're able to start the next game. There will be like 30 seconds to a minute in between the game. You can go through if you've run out of your rejuve potions, get more potions, and then right back into it. All right, so we're at 59 seconds, so I'm gonna go ahead and get ready. Personally, I start over here at the brazier, and as soon as it hits 0, you can go ahead and light this for some fire making XP. Other folks start over at the Bruma roots so that they can go ahead and start on their woodcutting journey. Now, basically the entire minigame is you light the brazier, you go to the roots, you throw the logs into the fire, and you just keep doing that. That's a whole minigame. If you want more points, you can go ahead and fletch, and then fletching will give you more points, but it'll give you less fire making XP. So there's kind of that trade-off. Do you want more fire XP? Do you want more points? And based on how many points you get is how many rewards you get at the end. And there's a reward crate that I will show you later. But as you can see, the game is about to start. So again, I'm gonna start here. When it hits 0, go ahead and light your brazier. So 1, 0, light the brazier. And then I'm just gonna run over and start chopping the roots. Now, there's a few people that think that this front spot is fine. Some people think that this spot is fine. With new Wintertodt, it doesn't really matter. The cool thing about the woodcutting portion is even if you get hit by Wintertodt, your actions don't interrupt. Everything else in this minigame, it's really frustrating because your actions will be interrupted. So you do this until you get a full inventory. And again, this is very different from the way you do things solo. So I'm gonna make another solo guide if you guys are interested. But if not, this is how you do your mass world. So for every single log you throw into the fire, you get 10 points. For every single log that you fletch and then throw into the fire, you get 25 points. So again, I'm gonna go ahead and show you. As you can see, 304 fire making XP, and we're getting 10 points per. Now we're gonna go ahead and fletch, and as you see, it takes a while. I get 55 fletching XP, and I make this kindling. Now I'm at 55 points. If I throw it into the fire, boom, I'm at 80 points and 386 fire making XP. So again, it's slower on the fire making XP, but it is better for the points. And most of you guys are at Wintertodt for the points, to be honest, because fire making is a skill that's not like super useful. So it's a way to get your rewards. So again, personally, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna fletch. There is this pyromancer over here. And sometimes Wintertodt will actually blow this flame out or hit it with some snow and the flame will go out. And again, this is why we keep the notifier on, because I didn't even notice that I wasn't fletching anymore. And you'll have to relight the fire. Sometimes ice and snow will fall from the ceiling and break it, and then you will have to use your hammer on the brazier, and then you will have to light the brazier. So here it is. Wintertodt just stopped the brazier from working. I went ahead and clicked on it and got another 594 fire making XP. Now you can go back to doing what you're doing before. Now, this pyromancer can die. If the pyromancer dies, you can use a rejuve potion on it, and actually you don't have to use it. You can just use the help button. You can just left click on him, and that will heal him, and then you can light the fire again. If the pyromancer is down, you cannot light the fire. Keep that in mind. So if for some reason you can't light the fire, go heal the pyromancer. Normally 9 times out of 10, if you are in a mass world, you do not have to worry about this at all. As you see, we are out of logs. We are gonna run back over here to the Bruma roots, and we are going to cut more. Now, as you can see, we're at 520 points. You need at least 500 points in order to get reward crates for Wintertodt to do this. So you need at least 500. Again, fletching is the way to go. Now, how I do things is I wait until we get down to about 20% of energy, and then I go ahead and run back over and start fletching. Now, this really just depends on RNG. Are you gonna get hit a lot? Are you not gonna get hit a lot? Sometimes it works out to where you can use your whole inventory the second time, sometimes it doesn't. So this is just what I do at 20%. I stop woodcutting, I go back to fletching. Now, as soon as it hits 10 to 12 energy, depending on where I'm at, I go ahead and start throwing my kindling into the fire. Now, I do that because under 30% health for Wintertodt, he has a higher chance to mess up your brazier. So there's a lot of time where you're gonna have to stop and light the brazier again or fix it. But that is literally a game of Wintertodt. That's it. It's literally that easy. Now, for those of you guys that want to just sit here and do fire making, totally fine. That is actually a lot easier planning wise, because you can just do an inventory and an inventory, and then on the next inventory, you'll have to kind of gauge it, if that makes sense. So you can do a full inventory of logs, run back, get another full inventory of logs, and then put them in the brazier, and then run back and get maybe another full inventory of logs. It really just depends on how much you get hit at the end and how comfortable you are. Again, doing this a couple times, you'll literally figure out everything you need to know, but that is literally how easy Wintertodt is. Now, if you'll notice, when the game was over, I got 9,900 fire making XP, and I got 3 rewards from the rewards pile. So while I was editing last night, I realized that I missed the part of how to world hop and get the most XP per hour, upwards of 475k XP an hour, which is absolutely insane. How you do this method, I can just tell you real quickly, is you basically hop worlds until you find Wintertodt at around 50%. Try not to be below 50%, but at 50%. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna go woodcut, and then you're gonna fletch while running back to the brazier. Fix the brazier every single time that it either breaks or goes out, and then fletch all of your logs, and then go ahead and throw them into the brazier, and you should get around 500 points, maybe a little more. If you're gonna get less, you're not gonna get that bonus XP. basically what you're doing is you're maximizing the XP bonus drop at the end. So for example, me at level 99, I'm pretty sure it's like 9,900. So you're basically cutting your Wintertodt time in half because you don't have to sit there and wait for the 30 seconds to a minute for the round to start. And then you can just go ahead and just continuously hop worlds. So as soon as you get that XP drop, you're gonna go ahead, hop worlds, and you're just gonna repeat. Try to find a world at 50-ish%, maybe a little bit more, and just keep going from there. You can do 40%, but it's not super reliable from everything I've read, so keep that in mind. But I just wanted to throw that in there. I don't really need to show how to do it because I literally just explained it, and now since you know how to do Wintertodt, and now that you know how to do Wintertodt, this should all make sense to you. But anyway, just wanted to add that in there because I noticed during editing that I forgot. So again, that's Wintertodt. It's that easy. Now I'm going to go over the rewards. If you guys are clicking off the video, thanks for watching. Sub to the channel if you're new. I do appreciate it. These videos do take a little bit of time to make, so I do appreciate all those subscribers. All right, so now since we have completed Wintertodt, you can go over here to the cart right outside the bank and you'll see it's a reward cart. You can go ahead and search the reward cart for your rewards. You can save them up. It's just like permits at Temporo, so you can save them up as many as you want. If you can see here, I have 114 rewards currently because I'm doing a loot from 250 rewards at Wintertodt. Check that video out later on. It'll be out after this video comes out at some point very soon. You can either search one reward at a time, or you can go ahead and search 5 rewards at a time if you use the big search option, which makes things a lot easier. But again, we are going to go over the rewards right now. Take a look at the wiki. So as you can see, here is how the drop mechanics work. So again, you remember I said that you needed 500 points in order to get rolls. So 500 points gives you 2 rolls. It works like kind of a rolling system. You see what I did? At 1,000 points, you get 3 rolls. Now, if you got 750 points, it's going to give you a 50% chance to get an extra roll. Every 5 points gives you an extra 1% chance. So keep that in mind that the more points you get, even if you don't hit 1,000 on those mass worlds, will still potentially bump you up to that 3rd roll. Now, as far as the rewards go, you can get a Warm Gloves, the Torch, a Pyromancer outfit, and those are all 1 in 150. You can also get a Tomb of Fire at 1 in 1,000, the Phoenix Pen at 1 in 5,000, or get lucky like I did on my Iron Man at the very beginning of my account and get a 1 in 10,000 drop for the Dragon Axe. The other interesting thing about how Wintertodt rewards work is actually the higher levels you have. For example, in woodcutting means the better logs that you will receive. So if you see, you can get oak to magic logs here, but again, the higher woodcutting level you get, the more likely you are to get magic logs. For gems, it's the same way. It's based on your crafting level. So the higher crafting level you have, the higher level gem you get. Same thing with ores. The higher mining level you have, the higher ores you're going to get. Herbs, same thing. Now, as far as seeds go, the seeds work the same exact way. The higher your farming level is, the more seeds you can get. And you can take a look at all these seeds that you can get and the special seeds as well. Same thing with the fish. The higher your fishing level is, the higher level fish you will receive. And then there's also other. You can also get coins. You can also get the salt stuff, which I'm not even going to try to say. You can get dynamite, burnt pages, which you need for your Tome of Fire, and pure essence. And those are the rewards that you can get. Again, I didn't want to go through and talk about every single one of these rewards because it would take forever. The other thing I did want to call out here is if you see, if a player already has 3 pairs of Worm's gloves and successfully rolled a Worm glove, a magic seed will be given instead of the Worm gloves. Same thing with 3 Bruma torches, you will get a Torstal seed instead. Now, the other caveat here is it also says the piece given is the piece that the player has least of. Ties are broken in this order: garb, hood, robe, boots. However, if your Pyromancer outfit is stored in your player-owned house, it will count for these rolls. So kind of keep that in mind. It's a little weird. It does make sense when you sit down and actually think about it, but just keep that in mind as far as what you're gonna get when you're gonna get it. And with that said, I know that video was very, very long. There was a lot to it. I tried to make it short, but that is why we have the timestamps in the description. Again, a solo guide will also be out very soon, and actual XP rates videos are going to be out. Loot from videos are going to be out. I'm just going to go ham on Wintertodt. I recently hit 99 fire making finally because I was just putting it off because again, it doesn't really matter on your account. With the new Wintertodt changes, it actually made it a lot more chill and relaxed. So I've just been kind of hanging out and doing it. So again, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, subscribe to the channel if you're new. leave a like for the algorithm. Channel memberships are now live, so you're able to get early access to all the videos that I post as soon as I post them, no matter how long in advance they are. You're able to see those. So if you want to support me and the channel, make sure you check out channel memberships. I really do appreciate it. Again, thank you guys for watching. I hope it wasn't too long for you. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.